Okay, then. This is me doing variant 6. I've already done that. But variant 6 to me was the easiest of all. That's what I can say. Um, Here it's just showing you the notes as of now because it's the video starting of the video. I'll be using Apocalypse here and would simply cheese out the Hawkeye with those debuffs and things, and then I'll be going to Joe Fix It. Apocalypse has a very good dupe ability that I feel is or can be useful in few fights, and I do have used it. It's like if it's dupe with high sick, it can regenerate certain health, and that will really help you. Regeneration will come into effect if you do not fight 2 fights. The moment you start the fight, as you can see here, as you saw here, it regenerated a few health. For now, if you do not fight 2 fights, a maximum of 2 fights is what that will affect. It will regenerate approximately 3600 health, which is actually good. So let's just complete the Hawkeye fight because it won't take that much long, even though it had 400k health. But you can see the damage, the absolute carnage of a damage that Apocalypse is doing here, like bonus damage of 4,000 with those SP2s, the burst damage. It's amazing. That is simply amazing. You see here 5,600, and it's not a joke. Like per hit, 5,600 is brutal, absolutely brutal. Now, the most number one hack of a variant 6, if you wish to cheese it, for specific node only. But if the moment you see Madness node, this is all you have to do. I know I messed up a bit on Joe Fix It in between, wherein I got hit, but then he just cannot do anything. Well, the moment you see Madness, all you have to do is what you'll see now. Now, Madness, I'll explain you things in detail, a lot in detail, in coming ahead. So, fortunately, he did not kill me, and I got him into corner, and all I did was heavy. So I hit him pretty solid number of heavy to get him down, and that's all you have to do. The reason being, the Madness node, what it says is that till you have an armor break debuff on the opponent or your defender or your opponent, whoever is in your position, it inflicts a passive power loss and they will not gain any power unless your last armor break debuff expires. So here, with the heavies, all Venom does is inflict the armor break. It does not get any power, and all I have to do is heavy, and heavy. Doesn't matter, 70k opponent, approximately 70k opponent is down in a cheese. So I've made an Excel sheet of a very in-depth guide of the nodes, of the champs that you can use, MVP champs in certain quests, champs you can use against, when you see those nodes, or that'll actually help you in selecting the team that you want for your quest. So stay tuned. Also, we'll be opening 2 featured crystals. One is a 5-star and another one is a 6-star featured crystal. Now that we know that 6-star featured crystals now have a Cosmic Ghost Rider, and we already have a Cosmic Ghost Rider, we thought, why not? Let's give it a shot, right? So here is variant 6 done. I have done with 0 revives, to be honest, 0 revives, 0 health pot used, and it has been an amazing roller coaster. Rewards are pretty sweet too, like why not? So we'll open up the crystal here and go for one feature because we have 15,000 5-star shards. But first I'll just click on this and then get another 6-star feature from the Summoner Sigil thing that they improved, that I'll get at 13k rather than 15k. So yep, one 6-star featured and one 5-star featured crystal. Now you'll see that we have already completed the variant here. Alright then, here we go. We come back to crystals, crystal vault, and here is our 5-star featured and a 6-star featured crystal. I really hoped for Captain America Infinity War. If it had, does it have? No, I don't think there's a Captain America Infinity War in there. But a Professor X would have been a very good addition to the roster. But the thing that I got is not even less. Guess what? I duped my hit monkey, which is actually the covers in skill class. The thing is that his block proficiency is a little on the lower side and helpful as well, so not much of a fuss around. Still a very good option that I would like to explore, and I'll get him to R4 and have a shot at it. Let's see how he does. Coming to 6-star here, I was expecting duped Cosmic Ghost Rider. If we have duped him, it would have been a cherry on a cake, but the thing that I got, I really don't like it. So anyways, yeah, it's Immortal Hulk. Anyways, let's go back to the guide. Alright then, so let's start with the variant 6 guide. Now variant 6 is the easiest of all, to be honest, and I'll show you how to actually explore or do your one run or master it. With the look of the screen that you're seeing right now, you must have gotten the idea. So variant 6 needs only the villain champs, and the villain champs for each of the class are mentioned here. For skill, it's Killmonger, Crossbones, Taskmaster, Mole Man, Kingpin. For science, it's Abomination, MODOK, Void, Electro, Red Hulk, Yellow Jacket, Rhino, Abomination, Immortal Abomination, and Geofixit. For mutant, it's Omega, Cyclops, Magneto, Mr. Sinister, Storm, Apocalypse. For cosmic, it's Venompool, Carnage, Venom, Ronan, Venom the Duck, Annihilus, Hela, King Groot, A-Walker, and so on for Tech and Mystic. Now, the specific nodes that Kabam has introduced for this particular variant are mentioned on a little below section. That is, first one is Mastermind, wherein villain attackers increase the duration of bleed, poison, incinerate, and shock debuffs on their opponents by 100%. Now, before moving forward, for me, I've already done one run, and what I feel is, I mean, the MVP specifically for the one run, what I feel are, number one is Apocalypse, because I can use him for various nodes. For example, Mastermind is good. I mean, he can be used on Mastermind, and then he can be used on Tyrant. He can be used on What's Yours Is Mine, because he does inflict the weakness debuff, and he can then be used on Rising Sun. I mean, Rising Sun is basically for all. He can also be used on Biohazard. He can be used in a Conflictor because he doesn't gain that many buffs. Or I mean, he not exactly Conflictor. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was something else. He can be used on Power Shield as well. I can also use him on Masochism. Reason being that it reduces the regen ability by 30%. Still good enough. Second MVP for me here is Venom. I can use Venom for Mastermind, for Henchman, for Madness specifically, for Genius, sort of for Monster as well, Monster and Beast, because when the opponent is at 18%, he becomes unblockable. I mean, he has SP1 unblockable. So sort of yes, but not exactly. I can also use him for Overlord, because with his SP1 I can nullify the buff if an opponent has it. I can use him for another one is Power Shield. Yes, his SP and SP2 are pretty solid, and he can actually do a lot of damage with SP1 and SP2 with the bleed specifically for Power Shield and also for Masochism. Sorry, masochism spelling is wrong. Hold on. Alright. The third MVP for me was Void, wherein I can use him for masochism, I can use him for um, Tyrant, I can use him for What's Yours Is Mine, because when you fire SP2 and if they use an SP, it inflicts them with the weakness debuff. So yeah, it can be used there as well. So 4 champs here were MVP for me because I used them for the whole quest and I never found any problem. Another one that I used was Dr. Doom. He is very good for the other for nodes which I set for Venom as well, except for the Madness because he doesn't inflict armor break debuff. But for Madness, you can also use Annihilus if you don't want to use Colossus, because Analysis normal hits also inflicts the armor break debuff as well, so that can save you there. Others, I'm not so sure exactly, but Rhino will also be a good option against the Electro. So yeah, I'll be giving you tips on which parts are the easiest. I mean, exploration doesn't need any tips because exploration is like you have to select either of them as per the nodes, whichever you wish to. So I also have made a chart. So let's go through the nodes. One is Mastermind. Villain attackers increase duration of bleed, poison, incinerate, and shock debuff from their opponents by 100%. And then Henchman. When triggering a Fury buff, villain attackers will passively purify all debuffs. Then Madness is when triggering an armor break debuff, villain attackers will also apply a passive power lock to a defender, which will last until the armor break ends. So all you have to do with Venom is simply corner the opponent or the defender and keep spamming the heavies. Doesn't matter who they are, they will you will eventually defeat them. The second and the third one is Genius, wherein when benefiting from at least one armor of buff, here you can use Venom, you can use Venom the Dark, you can use Red Skull specifically because he has a lot of armor buffs. You can also use Sentinel, but only after the SP3 Sentinel gets an armor up buff. You can use Dr. Octopus as well here. There are other champs which I'll show you a little later on. For Monster is when triggering an unstoppable or unblockable buff or passive, villain attackers will grant themselves a non-stacking passive regeneration, granting 10% of their max health over 5 seconds. So if you have Rhino even at R4 or R5, doesn't matter. If you have Rhino at R4, you can still go up against the Electro of Chapter 2 first quest, wherein because you lose your health with striking the opponent, you will still regenerate. So if you have Unstoppable, which Rhino does with every hit, it will be a cakewalk. Find some use for Rhino here. Same with the Beast. Monster and Beast have the same champ that you need to use. Tyrant and What's Your Mind also has the same champs that you can use. Villain attacker causes 50% of their health, 50% of their attack as bonus energy damage each time they hit their opponent or their block, as long as defender suffers from a weakness debuff. Once the Apocalypse has 4 charges, or in fact 3, doesn't matter, you'll be a god there. So even What's Yours Is Mine has the same thing, wherein whenever the defender has a weakness debuff applied to them, a Fury buff with 60% of the weakness potency is given to the attacker for 5 seconds. When attacker does not have a Fury buff for this effect, the attacker deals 70% less damage to the defender. Then comes the Overlord. Each time a buff is nullified of the defender, villain attackers gains an indefinite precision passive, increasing the critical rating by 500. So if you have a Doom, just start hitting the medium and heavy. It will put on the stagger, and the moment the buff comes up, it will be nullified and you will be gaining a lot of critical rating. The Rising Sun is simple. I mean, you can use any champ here, but all you have to do is make sure that you land heavy after let's say 6 to 7 hits. Biohazard, very less champions here, to be honest. But once you are bleed immune with Apocalypse, you can deal a pretty solid amount of damage. But just make sure that you do not hit on the block too, so that you don't get inflicted with the poison. Conflictor, every 7 seconds, the next debuff activated on the defender is immediately purified. Each time this triggers, the defender gains 50% of a bar for power. It's basically Masochism, but Masochism regenerates. Conflictor does not regenerate. It allows the champion to gain power. Chitinous Thorns, if the defender has an armor of buff, the attacker is inflicted with a bleed debuff, causing 50% of defender's attack over 5 seconds each time contact is made. So here I would again request you to take a bleed immune champ, and if you are able to maybe get those armor ups away. Now if there's a Colossus on this node, it will be very hard to deal with Colossus, and you do need a bleed immune champ there. Apart from that, it's impossible. Power shield, again it's easy. All you have to do is get the power with any attacker whatsoever, and with the SP2 it deals 400% more damage. A few champs that deals a lot of damage, for example Apocalypse at 4 charges, or Dr. Doom with SP2, Mojo with a degeneration sort of a thing, and Green Goblin because his SP2 is actually very good. Morningstar if the other champs if the opponent has the buffs, and Magneto, or you can even go with Void or Electro for that matter, will be very good. Apart from that, I think Storm will be a lot more better option, because once you find the SP2, 90% of the time you can safely say that the opponents will be down anyway. Masochism, here the Void will be an MVP here. All you have to do is just before that Masochism timer comes, I mean your Void timer is about to shoot in the debuff. Just make sure you parry so that your debuffs go in there, and your Masochism does not affect your debuff inflicting ability, and you'll be able to counter the regeneration as well. Now these are the villains that you can use as per the notes. I'll give you 2 minutes to have a look, or you can pause the video and take a screenshot of it and use accordingly. This is what I feel would be a very good option. If you have a better option than these, please do let me know. I'll be very happy to include them in a next video and update them with some of the content that I'll be publishing. For all of those, I've given you champs that you can certainly use. And coming back to the easiest path of all, the easiest path right now, what I feel that what I have done is in chapter 1, take the Hyperion on the right, and champs like Morningstar, Dooms are the best. But also champs that inflicts debuffs would be debuffs like Bleed, Poison, Incinerate or Shock would blossom there. So you can take any champ that does inflict any of those debuffs with champs like Doom, because Doom does inflict shock, so yes, that would be very helpful. And because there's an Hyperion, that's the reason I was more on the Doom rather than the others. But even Venom and Apocalypse and Morningstar and others that inflict these kind of debuffs would work. Okay, we have Mastermind, I believe there. So yeah, champs like Killmonger, Abomination, Immortal Abomination would be a very good addition. Geofixit, sorry. You can also use Venom. You can also use Venom the Talk. King Groot will also be a good option. Ultron can also be a good option with Mysterio as well. So yeah, these are some of the best options that you can have. And the second one, what I feel is the right side Stark Spidey path is the easiest one. The simple hack is get the opponents cornered and keep spamming heavies with the Venom, and that's all you need to do. There's nothing that they will be able to do. They won't be able to hit you as well. So just keep spamming SPs, make sure that you do not break that chain. If you do, you're doomed. As simple as that. Now, with the chapter 2, quest number 3, take the extreme left path because that's the easiest of all. Doesn't have much of a nodes there. It only has the aggressive regeneration node, which you usually get in every quest or alliance war as well. Aggressive, not alliance war, sorry. Normally Cavalier or even the Uncollected quest 2. So the aggressive regeneration void will be an MVP here, and I believe if you play properly, you will be able to finish off all the champs with void itself. There's also one more node that's there. I'm not sure which one is, but ideally that should be, yeah, ideally those nodes are monster and beast. So if you have any champ that is or if you have Rhino, very good, it'll degenerate. I mean, it will allow them to, and it will reduce the regeneration rate and also give you regeneration as well. So yeah, those guys will be MVP there. And coming to the last quest of chapter 2, that is with boss as Drax. Take a path towards Colossus with Overlord node and champs like for Overlord, champs like Doom will be a very good option. And for the boss, just make sure that you fight two to three champs in between, or if you just fight one against the Colossus, that will be enough, because that will give 4 charges to your Apocalypse, if you have Apocalypse. The last chapter with Daredevil and Daredevil boss and the Joe Fixit boss. Take a right path towards Void, and Void will be a little problematic, but trust me, once you get past Void, is the easiest of all. Void and Ebony Maw would actually get you in some problems, but apart from that, no problem at all. If you have any champ that does inflict those two, bleed and poison, I had Apocalypse, so for me it was the easiest of all. But even the bleed also should be fine. Champs like Venom, champs like Apocalypse, champs like Morningstar or Magneto, because he does inflict bleed. And who else would inflict bleed? Because we have Overlord there. For Overlord, yeah, Venom Pool, Venom. Okay, those guys actually do not inflict bleed, but oh, sorry, the paths here are different. Okay, so here we have paths like Conflictor and well, let's see. But what I specifically saw here was bleed and poison vulnerability, and because that helps in increasing your attack rating, you'll be able to remove or defeat those champs rather easily. The last part, that is the last chapter, that is wherein the boss is Joe Fixit. Just go in with, make sure you have Venom full with Venom full for the Joe Fixit, because all you have to do is corner Geo Fixit and then heavy, as I did in the video that you have seen earlier. Take a right part towards Karnak, and all you have to do is if you have Doom, very good, because Doom's heavies will hit approximately 36,000 heavy, because the node there, it actually gives you like 500% additional damage when you heavy. Same goes with your opponent, so just make sure that you do not get hit by opponent's heavy, because if you do, you're doomed. That's it. So that's it, guys, from us. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope the video was informative. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe with the others, and make sure that you share with others so the others would know and will be easier for them to explore. And if they are having any issues, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll surely answer them for you. That's it, guys, from us. I hope I mean, we need all the support that we can get. Until we meet next time,